Hi, friends. Welcome to DBC Inc. Live. We are so excited that you are here today. We have Ryan Sheehy in the house. Welcome, Ryan.
Whoop. Thanks for so much for having me. I'm excited to be here today.
Well, we are excited to have you, and we have something special happening tonight. So, as you join in, please tell us who you are, where you're from, what you do. Maybe share something great that's happening right now. I know this is kind of a stressful time of the year where school's starting back for a lot of us. And some of us are finishing the last days of our summer. So that also can be a little overwhelming. But share something good or something positive that's happened to you this week. I can go first. And then we'll let Ryan go. And then we'll dive into some cool stuff that's going to be happening during this live chat. So you need to stay here and you also need to make comments because you have an opportunity to win big tonight. So my positive thing that happened is I had to stay extra for a trip that I made at the beginning of the week for professional development. The professional development was so fun, but I knew that my flight got delayed and then canceled, so I had to stay a whole extra day. So I ended up like making it good and exploring Sacramento a little bit, and that was so fun. And then I used some of the things I learned from the free Adobe Summit when it was teaching you how to take better pictures with your iPhone. And I try to put my skills into practice. So I had just a great time doing that and making the best of maybe not the best situation. So Ryan, I'll let you go. What's something positive that happened to you this week?
That's awesome. I didn't know you're actually pretty close to me up here in the
I
Bay Area.
was.
Yeah, about an hour away, not too far. So one of the things, what has been good this week, also for me, I've been married to my wife Barbara for 17 years. And on Monday was her first time that she's ever worked outside of our house since we've been married. And so she just got a new job and she just went through nursing school, and she is now an ER nurse. And so she started her first day of work on Monday. So that's my celebration. That's my positive for the week. It's pretty amazing.
That's awesome. Yeah, that is so awesome.
It's crazy. It's crazy on our family, but it's super cool. It's kind of, I have 4 kids. And so with the school year starting and everything, it's kind of like, oh, okay, how are we doing pickups? How are we doing all this? But we're figuring it out and making it work day by day. But that's definitely my positive.
I love that. And she gets to live out her dream, something she's wanted to do for all this time.
Absolutely.
That makes my heart so happy that she just pushed through and continued to do it too. I really think there's never an age where we should stop or plateau on our dreams. Like we just need to keep going for it. So that makes my heart very happy. All right. So the special news tonight is every comment over in the comment section, and I'm not seeing too many of them. So I see more of you watching than are commenting. But all the comments will be entered to win a book study set of Be the One for Kids, which is Ryan's book. So not just one book, but for you and the staff at your school can get a book for a book study. That's what we're doing. It's like a big deal and it's pretty exciting. So you definitely want to comment over there. And depending on the sizes of the staff, we might can have more than one book study. We just don't know. But you will never know unless you get your comments over in the I see them now rolling in. It works like a charm. No, every comment counts. So as Ryan is talking to us tonight, he's going to be sharing some strategies, some ways that we can be the one for kids in just a moment. You can be this amen corner over in the comment section and potentially win a set of Be the One for Kids for you to keep and do a book study this year. So it's something fun we're doing at the beginning of the year. We think it's very important for all of us to be the one for kids all year, all the time. And why not start the year of 2022, 2023 out with that message. So Ryan, I know that most of the people probably know who you are and what you do, but in case they don't, please do share a little bit about you. They know you're the author of this awesome book. So tell them a little bit more about what you do on the day to day. And then we'll dive into some content in just a moment.
Yeah, no, for sure. Appreciate that. Yeah, no, so my name is Ryan Sheehy, educator, author, speaker. I was born and raised in San Diego. I now currently reside up in the San Francisco Bay Area. I'm the second oldest of 8 kids, and I have an interesting education background. I went to public school, and then my parents pulled us out, and I got homeschooled. for 3 years. And then I really wanted that educational experience, that socialization. So my parents enrolled us, my brother and I, in a K-12 23 kids school. So it wasn't exactly the socialization that I wanted. My brother, I was one of 6 kids in the 6th grade class, one of 6 boys, and my brother was one of 2 high school students in the entire high school. And then, and then from there, I wanted, I asked to go to public high school, and so I attended a public high school. And so I always talk about, I have a diverse education background myself. I was a physical education teacher, turned high school vice principal. Then I was elementary school principal for 5 years, and now I am in my 2nd year as director of human resources for a large school district up in the Bay Area. So now we're rocking and rolling. We're dealing with what everybody's dealing across the country with teacher shortages and such, and looking and seeing how can we get creative to recruit and retain the best candidates for our students, and making sure that happens. I'm a father of 4. I have 2 high school students, a middle school student, and an elementary. My youngest is in elementary, and I pride myself on being a dad and a husband, and trying to fit everything else in around that. But I love education, and I love waking up and talking to educators. This morning, I was able to get up 6 a.m. my time and talk with a group of educators on the East Coast. And just, there's no better way to start and end our day talking with passionate people. And that's why I'm so excited to be here tonight. I'm glad that I was able to fit this in, because here on the West Coast, it's 4:30. It's not always the easiest to escape from work before 4:30. So I was able to put it on my calendar, mark it out, and I'm super excited to be here tonight with everybody.
We are so grateful that you were able to as well. I know there's just like no perfect time. No. I feel like it's so hard to find that perfect time, but we're so grateful that you're here tonight. And I know you're going to share a little bit about something you do like at the beginning of the year to be the one for kids. I mean, this is the message that we're really wanting to put out tonight. And remember all those comments. I see you over there, Greg, Kristen, Yasina. There's several of you, David. Keep them coming, and we will choose one of you. And like I said, you will get a book study set for you and all of your colleagues to be able to read this book and share it with your students. The message, of course, with your students. Yes, it's a great title. It's a great book too. We'll talk a little bit about the book in a little while, but I think Ryan's going to share some great stuff that'll give you some insight.
Yeah, no. So one of the things that I like to do to kick off the school year is I like to ask educators, and I ask the same question of students: are your habits of today on par with your dreams of tomorrow? What are your goals and what are your dreams? And then I ask them to create a list of their dreams, their goals, and then I want you to create another list that has to do with all your habits. What are the habits? What are you doing today that you're doing it habitually? And then I want you to compare the 2 lists. And when you look at those 2 lists, if our habits aren't helping us achieve those goals and those dreams, it's time to reevaluate. It's time to reevaluate what are our habits and what are our goals and dreams. Something's going to have to give there, because if we're not setting ourselves up, we're never going to hit that. And it's just going to be continuously something so far out. And I truly believe that our kids and us as educators, we can make both of those happen, but we have to ensure that we're putting in the work today to make that happen. And when we start framing that with our teachers and our educators and our students, that's something we can always check in. And we can say, hey, let's reevaluate. It's time to reevaluate. Make that list. What are we doing today? And, I have that conversation when I'm talking with students all the time. It's like, hey, what is your goal? What do you want to do when you grow up? And they start telling us. And then we talk about, okay, how is this writing assignment helping us get to there? Or how is not doing our homework getting us to that part? Mm-hmm. And looking at those different things. And I think that that's key for me to keep those in line, because as an educator and as a director of human resources, as principal, as a teacher, it doesn't matter what position I was in, is I'm always there because I want to help you reach your goals. I want to help you reach your dreams. And that's something that I've seen to be a great way to kick off a year, a great way to work with your staff, to work with educators and your students to really make that make sense.
I love it. And I think it's so important to write those things down, right? Absolutely. Our goals and our dreams need to be in front of us pretty often. I journal every single day. I will say, I have to confess on here, traveling, I think it just knocked me off my game this year, because I really hadn't had this much travel since 2020, before 2020. Yeah. And my journaling has been off, when I'm traveling, and then I'm trying to catch up of all the good stuff that happened while I was gone. But I journal daily, and I like I like reminding myself of my goals. I have some in the front. I have a
Yeah.
bucket list. And then I also have just like daily, weekly goals. And then I have monthly goals and I have yearly goals. But I look at those weekly goals every single week and I'm constantly making daily goals to meet the weekly goals. And I think if we could train students and children and anyone, honestly,
Yep.
any learner of any age to write stuff down and to measure like what you're doing to meet that thing that you want to accomplish, it's just so powerful because a lot of times life gets busy. And I mean, these 3 days I didn't journal and my mind was like all over the map too. Like I was feeling all swarmy and all the things and all in my feelings coming home on the plane yesterday. And I thought about it, I was like, man, I just need to like get all the, and you've got to free up some space, right?
Yeah.
And I think for kids, we need to put that down. We need to put it down. And then everything that we're doing, let's help them try to figure out a way to get a step closer to meeting those goals, meeting those dreams. And if they can't figure it out, then as teachers, that's just a perfect opportunity to build the connection or be the one
Yep.
to help them to find what are some good habits I can put in place. What are some acts that I can start right now as a little kid and move in that direction to become
No,
a famous YouTuber or whatever it is they want to do.
exactly. As soon as we verbalize it and we write it down, it becomes real, right? And it makes it that real part of it. And I think one of the things that for a lot of kids, they struggle with that because they know once that they put it out there, then people are going to hold them to it, right?
Yeah.
And so one of the things for me, it's always been important to remember that it's for me. I've always told kids it's okay for your dreams to change as long as you keep dreaming, right?
Yeah.
And so that's been the important piece. I had a conversation with a high school student back in the day when I was a high school vice principal. And she was kind of worried about telling me she's changed her path, and I was like, hey, time out. You have to know I am 100% okay with that as long as we continue to have those goals, continue to have those dreams. That's when we stop doing that. That's when I have a problem. And so totally right with you on that one.
Exactly. And I love that. I love that quote so much from your book. I think we even made a image of it, you know, like you can change your dreams, just keep dreaming. Just don't
That's right.
stop. And
Yeah.
I think a lot of us do change our dreams. Like once you start down a path or you end up doing some things you never even thought you would do. Like me. Just even this week, like discovering Sacramento, like just exploring a little bit. I mean, that wasn't on the agenda, but it was cool and it was a great opportunity. In fact, so much so that I think next time I travel, might just take the later flight just so I can look around a little bit. I mean, I see these places I'm in and out. You know, it's nice to be able to take some time and while I was there, I was practicing photography. I don't even know how to do photography, but it was fun. So, I mean, our dreams change and our experiences lead us to new things that we might want to do. So I love that. I love starting the year off thinking big like that.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I always tell people, I said my dream as a kid was I wanted to be a major league baseball player and a cattle rancher. I wanted to be straight up Nolan Ryan. And so, you know, that things have changed, right? And so, you know, it's a fun thing to think back on and you know, reminisce about. So
for sure. I know as a kid, all the way through high school, actually, I wanted to be a neuroscientist. That's
okay.
Like what I wanted. I mean, teachers kind of are, right? I mean, we kind of
exactly, pretty much.
not that far off. Just don't make as much money. But I got into nursing. I thought I'd just go into nursing, which is funny because your wife, you said,
yeah.
But I did 3 semesters of all the nursing majors, all the sciences, all the anatomies. It was so fun and I love learning. And then we had this like clinical rotation where you kind of like try some of your skills out.
Yeah.
I can't handle blood, smells, or vomits like at all. Like not even a little bit. I'm talking like passing out.
Oh
like,
my goodness.
Like I can't handle it. Like I can't live through it. And just like laid out. So my instructor said, have you ever thought of doing anything else? Because I'm really gonna work out. You might be the highest grade point average in our system, but I don't know if this is gonna work for you practically. So what happened is I was like, maybe teaching, and so I just switched.
And look at you now. It's a great decision, right?
I love it. It was perfect. Once I got in, I was like, this is what I was born to do. Like,
exactly.
I don't know what then you still get to study neuroscience and figure out what's going on in their little brains. So it's perfect.
Exactly.
But yeah, Ryan, we are just so grateful to have you on the show tonight. If you want to share anything else, also let's just share real quick what anyone can expect from the books. If they win, they're going to do book study with their group.
Yeah.
So when you wrote this book, what were you hoping the readers would gain from it?
So when I wrote the book, I was thinking, like what's the book that I would like to read, and so when I started, this book is packed with stories. It's packed with stories from my educational career and from people around me, and looking at that, looking at different things. It's an easy read. It's one of those things that really thought provoking. We end each chapter with questions. So, it's a great setup for a book study. It's set up to be able to have that conversation with other educators to talk about, hey, how would you handle this? How would you tap into this? One of the things that I'm a huge believer on is education and life is a team sport. And so nobody should have to go on this journey alone. And so I hope, my goal is when you have this book and you get this book for your staff, and that staff read, is that it brings people together. And it brings people together so you can have that conversation, you can build that camaraderie, and really make sure that, at the end of the day, you're a team, and that team is designed to be the one for kids and designed to make the change the lives of everybody around them.
Yes, indeed. And I think this book definitely does that. And I love what David said here, that the end of chapter questions and discussion topics are extremely helpful as well. I think that's a great way to get going on the book study. And yeah, it was so inspirational. I may have to shed a tear too. Yes, for sure. You're going to love it. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We are really hoping that everyone feels like they can start the year off and be the one for kids. We are not going to choose the winner just yet. We're going to leave it all the way until the morning. You know how we do. We like to leave time for moms and dads that are putting their babies to bed right now. It's school time, to watch this on the playback, and either later tonight when everybody's sleeping or in the morning. But every single comment from now until tomorrow morning will be entered to win that book set for book study. And Ryan, if they want to connect with you on social media and they don't already, how can they connect with you?
So you can find me on all social media platforms at Sheehy RW, SheehyRW. Reach out, let's connect. Like I said before, education and life is a team sport, and I'm definitely part of that team. And so let's connect, and I'd love to work with you and love to help you understand that you have the power to change the life of others. And today is the day to unleash that power.
Yes, for sure. And we just can't wait for you guys to dive into this book with your staff and then share all of your learning on social media. Absolutely. Be sure to connect with Ryan. We'll put his contact information above and below this video in the comments. In the body of the text. So be sure and find it there as well. And thank you so much. Oh, you're serving as a mentor, Sean. This is awesome. This would be a great book study. Oh my goodness. Absolutely. Definitely. It's great for any level of teacher, no matter your amount of years too. It's just a great all around evergreen book that is definitely going to inspire you to get the year started off right. All right, Kristen, thank you. Thank you so much. All right, friends. Well, have a great evening. We're going to let you out a little early tonight. That's because the best classes always let you out early. And let Ryan get back to work. We kind of stole him away from his job for a little bit. But thank you so much for joining us. Remember, Be the One book study. Someone is going to win it. And get those comments in. Ryan, thanks again for taking time for us tonight.
Hey, thanks for having me on. Take care, everyone.
Bye, everyone.